Hello, I'm Curly Cocaine, and I'm here to talk to you about knives. Do you like to slice? Do you like to dice? Do you like to cut things up? Well, I have the product for you, Gearon, the ultimate cutting machine. He can cut through metal. He can cut through tomatoes. He can even cut the ingredients for your Gamera gumbo. He can be yours today for a low, low price of $19.99. But wait, there's more. If you order now, I can also give you Gyaos and Baragon as an additional ultimate cooking pack. What do you think about that, people? Cutting. It's today's dinner.
Gearon Knives at $19.99. Call now 1-800-426-3772. Send payment to Kaiju no Kami, 1901 Kaiju Lane, Suite 54, Terra, EOS 91413. May not be available on all continents. Check if sold in your location.
Gamera is really neat. Gamera is filled with meat. We've been eating Gamera.
Welcome. I am the Kaiju no Kami, and tonight's review is the 1969 film Gamera vs. Gearon. Gamera vs. Virus came and went and a new year started, so of course Gamera returned once again. There's not really too much to add to this story that I haven't said already. Noriaki Yuasa returned as the director and stuff happened on set. Now there is one interesting rumor that says this movie was going to feature 2 brand new monsters, but due to budget and time, Daiei decided to just repaint the Gyaos costume instead. As a result, the knife-headed monster Gearon is the only thing new in this science fiction monstrosity. Very lame. Just like this movie. Nevertheless, let's travel down this rabbit hole once again. For the 5th time. Our movie begins with a group of scientists using the new Sony Big Band to receive strange radio waves from outer space.
この電波音が果たして宇宙人からのメッセージであるかどうかまだわかりません。
Dr. Shiga believes... Oh, who cares? He's not important to this film anyway. Let's move to the real characters. They are our children, Akio, his sister Tomoko, and their friend Tom. They are played by Nobuhiro Kajima, Miyuki Akiyama, and Christopher Murphy. Tom is having a sleepover at Akio's house when they see a spaceship through Akio's telescope.
宇宙船だ。わあ、本当だ。かっこいい。ねえ、私にも見せて。ほら。
Grace, come here. There's a sinister-looking kid I want you to see.
Morning rises and the trio head out on their bikes to find the ship. Hey Gamera, is there a reason why all the kids in these movies dress like Fisher-Price people? On their way, they run into a tight ass of a policeman named Kondo, played by Kan Omura.
言っときますけどね、君たち2人とも今度悪いことしたらね、頭クリクリ坊主にするよ。
Is shaving your head a sign of delinquency in Japan? I don't really understand the context of this joke. Why would he shave his head for being bad? They continue their venture until they find a giant poster with a spaceship on it.
宇宙人が乗っているのかしら。中にいるかもしれない。アキオ、入ってみよう。
Oh, I am just thinking of Godzilla vs. Gigan right now. So anyway, Akio and Tom board the ship but accidentally take off in it, leaving Tomoko behind to tell her uncaring mom and Tom's uncaring mom. Seriously, neither one of them believe her, even though they live in a world where giant monster turtles exist and an alien species just tried to take over the Earth in the last movie. What is so hard to believe about this? Back to the important part of the movie. Akio and Tom are saved from hitting a meteorite by Gamera, who proceeds to race them. Man, Gamera looks really tired in this scene. In fact, he doesn't even look like a living creature, but just a puppet of sorts. So the ship the boys are in gets away from Gamera, and the next time we see them, they have crashed on some planet. At least it's assumed they crashed. We're not really shown what exactly happened because the movie cuts to Tomoko telling her mom about what happened, and then it comes back to this. So who knows? Fortunately for the duo, the planet's atmosphere is exactly like Earth's, so they can breathe with no problem, and there is no change in gravity either. Moments later, a Gyaos flies overhead.
星にもギャオスがいたんだね。しかし地球のと色が違う。じゃあ宇宙ギャオスだね。
People never do that, you know?
Do what?
They never put the word space in front of something just because everything's all sort of high-tech and futuristic. It's never space restaurant or space champagne or space, you know, hats. It's just restaurant, champagne or hats, even if this was a restaurant.
Giron, a monster with a knife for a head, emerges from flushing metals to battle the space Gyaos. This fight costs the Gyaos an arm and a leg before the sharp beast shows off his culinary skills.
It's Vince with the slap chop. You're gonna be in a great mood all day. Cause you're gonna slapping your troubles away with the slapping your troubles away with the slap chop. It's Vince with the slap chop. You're gonna be in a great mood all day. Cause you're gonna slapping your troubles away with the slapping your troubles away with the slap chop. Look, here's a potato.
残酷だな。
It's mean. Really? That was the best line you could come up with? The kids enter a strange house and we see the inhabitants of said house. They introduce themselves to the two boys and exposit the details to us.
私たちはこの星をテラと呼んでるわ。あなたたちの地球とはちょうど太陽の反対側になるの。
そうすると太陽系の惑星は水星、金星、地球、火星、木星、土星、天王星、海王星、冥王星の9つだから第10惑星っていうわけだね。
Wrong! Everybody knows there are only 8 planets. Pluto is not a planet. Maybe you kids should actually go to school for a change instead of hopping onto random flying saucers.
あれはうちの番犬、議論よ。それはね、私たちの世界では。
There's a lot of dialogue here, so I will just speed you up with what they say with this.
I fragged the rest of the planet for my high school science project. Gave myself an A.
お姉さんの名前バーベラっていうの？
I'm positive I could get you some sort of recompense from my government.
No, that's Barbarella.
私の名はフローベラ。
We all know how this is gonna end. Flobella's not gonna have a career as an alien, so she's gonna go the next best thing.
Well, I haven't shopped for car insurance in a while.
And you're worried that you've been paying too much, right?
They leave the kids to their own devices as they go back to their control center to learn if they are edible, and then Flobella freezes Akio to learn about the type of food they like and of Gamera. We are then treated to a nice recap of the previous movies, but at least this time it is only a few minutes in length. Barbella brings the children drug donuts and milk, and after they have passed out, they proceed to shave Akio's head in order to eat his brain. Oh my god, they're zombies. Fortunately, or unfortunately depending on your viewpoint, Gamera shows up to save the day and is instantly attacked by Giron.
Tonight I dine on turtle soup.
Mine are delicious, you know that's true, because they're filled with mutagen goo.
His plans are botched and Gamera escapes to the random ocean that just happens to be there that no one saw before to heal. Tom wakes up and learns of the aliens' true intentions, so he immediately gets Akio up in order to look for an escape plan. They play tag with some of the planet's transporters.
ほら、もう逃がさないよ。
しまった、バックさせられちゃったんだ。逃げよう。乗ってこないようにバックのハンドルを壊してしまおう。オッケー。万歳。もうこれで戻ってこれないさ。
I'm not really sure that works the way you think that works.
ね。
バックはできないけど、前進して一周してきたのよ。
Told you. The kids are taken prisoner and imprisoned in the most incomprehensive prison of all time. Why would you make your prison cone-shaped like that? What if you had in prison like 20 people? How would they fit? Wouldn't it make more sense to like flip it over and you know what? Why should I care when the production crew didn't seem to? Anyway, the kids use a dart gun to release Giron. Yes, you heard that right. A dart gun. And he slices the spaceship the aliens are inside in half.
まったもう地球へは行けないわちくしょう痛い動けない助けて
Gamera wakes up in time to save the kids again, and the battle from earlier resumes. You know, I'm starting to think this movie is actually kind of goofy and weird. What was...
Sir, I am here representing the YouTubes to file a cease and shut your face order. You're in violation of ripping off Mystery Science Theater and stuff. You must get some friggin' originality or we'll have to take 50% revenue for a video we had no part in creating.
What?
You're right, 90% revenue. Aw, heck, let's make it 100%!
Don't you have any princesses to kidnap?
They offered me cake to stop that bit. I might comply, for a while.
Ooh, you like turtle pie?
Yes?
I've got some in the kitchen.
Ooh.
Bye. What was that all about? The two monsters fight in the water for a little bit, and then Giron is driven to the ground headfirst. The kids fire missiles at him in the command center, killing Flobella. While Gamera uses a missile he just randomly has in his hands to finish off the sharp menace. He repairs the ship and takes the duo back to their home. And that was Gamera vs. Giron, the movie that many consider to be the best of the child-friendly Showa saga. Why? I do not know for sure, but perhaps it is because Giron is the most original monster to come out of the Showa era of Gamera movies. In fact, you can't even look at Knifehead from Pacific Rim without thinking about Giron. Giron is what makes this movie entertaining. He has such a unique and interesting design that you cannot help but enjoy the moments when he is on screen. I wouldn't even mind if they were to bring Giron back in a future Gamera movie where everything is taken more seriously and the movie has a budget. The fact that Toho never came up with a monster that was essentially a giant knife is really surprising, but then again, Giron was created just before Toho started to get really silly with their monsters throughout the 70s. Toho's monsters were a lot more realistic and natural, even Ghidorah. Giron is like the first monster to really be something extremely alien in design. Unfortunately, that is the only positive I can give this movie, as everything else is generically bad. None of the characters are memorable at all. I can't even say that they are really likable because they just seem to act in dumb situations with dumb attitudes. The only scene where Tom and Akio show any sign of character is when they are being dicks to Kondo. Sure, they were kids having fun, but it was a mean-spirited type of fun. The adults are no better because they live in a world of giant monsters but can't be bothered to even listen to what Tomoko is trying to say just because she is a child. Kondo is at least funny and he generally wants to help, but he is there for comic relief rather than anything else. Flobella and Barbella dress so ridiculously that you can't even take their plot to eat the brains of the children seriously. They have no character arc either, outside of saying that they are the last two living beings on their planet. Gamera and the effects look as cheap as they did last time, which at this point shouldn't be a surprise, as I bet it costs more to market these movies than it did to film and edit them. Hell, they are probably running on the same budget I am at this very moment. The music is better than the last few installments, but still not great. The Gamera theme is catchy and yet very annoying. Mystery Science Theater 3000 constantly made rips towards it for a reason. Now here's something interesting though, as it was done by a man named Shunsuke Kikuchi, who would go on to do the music for a bunch of the Showa Kamen Rider series. Oh yeah, he also scored this little strange obscure anime called Dragon Ball. I'm not sure if you guys have ever heard of it, but it's pretty good, as is Kikuchi's music to that. Sadly at this point, there's nothing more I can really criticize on this movie that I haven't said about the other ones. The plot is holier than a priest. The best thing about this movie is Giran because he is such a unique and interesting monster from a design standpoint. If you have not been won over by the Gamera series by this point, there's nothing that's going to make you want to continue here, so just skip it. Until next time, bye.
宇宙のどこかには文明がものすごく発達していて、そして戦争も交通事故もない平和の星がきっとあるに違いないんだ。